Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm coming to you with another book review, and that's right, we're looking at another Supernatural TV tie-in book. This time it is Heart of the Dragon, the fourth book in the Supernatural TV tie-in series. As I've mentioned in all of my previous Supernatural books, in case this is your first Supernatural book review of mine that you're watching, I'm a massive fan of Supernatural. I've seen the entire TV show multiple times, all 15 seasons. I've watched the Winchesters spin-off show multiple times. I'm currently rewatching the anime for the third time, and I'm working my way through all of the tie-in novels, the source books, the guidebooks, the comics. If there's something to read, I want to read it. If there's something to watch, I want to watch it. I'm obsessed with this series, and I am a gigantic fan. And so when the series ended, it kind of left a hole in my heart, and I'm slowly working through the remaining content so that I can, fill that hole a little bit for as long as I can. And so Heart of the Dragon was one that I was really excited to get because for some reason, at least for a while, the book was kind of expensive. I mean, for a mass market paperback, these things were selling for like 30, 40, even $50. And I was thinking, wow, it's the most expensive and rarest of the Supernatural books. It must be the best. And I'm going to say quickly that it's not. It's on par, I would say, with Bone Key. I would give it, in case you don't have time to watch the whole review, I would give it the same rating of 3.5 out of 5 that I gave Bone Key, which makes it better than Witch's Canyon, in my opinion, but not as good as Nevermore. And the reason why, yet again, comes down to mishandling characters. And actually, that's the biggest thing that drags this particular book down. And it's not Sam and Dean's character that are mishandled this go around. Actually, I thought Sam and Dean were handled quite well. But the thing with this book that makes it different is it's jumping between 3 different timelines, and as a result, jumping between 3 different perspectives, which I thought was really cool. I guess you could say 4 timelines because we are briefly in the ancient, in a feudal period of Japan, but we don't go back to that POV at all, and we're only there for pretty much the prologue of the book, so I wouldn't really consider that to be one of the primary timelines. But those 3 timelines are during Samuel Campbell's time, during John Winchester's time, and then during Sam and Dean Winchester's time. And all 3 of them are very much hunting and dealing with the same threat, which I thought was really, really cool. It's 3 different generations of this family doing what it does best, and I love that. I really did. What makes this book a little bit, what holds it back from a higher grade, because this could have easily been a 4 out of 5 for me, is the handling of John Winchester's character specifically. Okay, Samuel Campbell acted exactly like I'd expect Samuel Campbell to act. Very confident in his ability, very cocky, and very standoffish, not liking to work with other hunters. Makes perfect sense. Okay, I can appreciate that. The only issue I have in that period of time in this book was suggesting that Mary knew John from school because Mary didn't meet John until John got out of the Marines. So she certainly didn't know him in high school. That bugged me a little bit because it did go against the existing canon, but it was such a small thing that I didn't really worry about it too much. And since these books are not canon to the main timeline of Supernatural, you could just consider them an alternate universe, and there could be an alternate universe in which Mary knew John in high school. After all, there was an alternate universe in which they went hunting together. So, sure, maybe we can say that's what happens. That's how this book goes. What I couldn't forgive is the way that John interacted or talked about Sammy. They made John a loving parent to Sam. And while that would be a good thing if that was in character for him, it really isn't. John was always very hard on his boys, harder on Sam, arguably, than Dean, because he kind of knew quite a bit about Sam's secret, or at least it's implied that he did. Sam and John butted heads a lot, and John was extremely absent from Sam and Dean's lives. And so having John make super nice comments to Sam and talk about how much he cares about Sam, it just wasn't it for me. And that kind of held the book back. It mischaracterized John quite a bit, because John is, and was always supposed to be, a bit of a cold bastard. He was doing things for the right reasons. He did love his boys, but he wasn't the kind and loving parent by any stretch of the imagination. His boys were very much soldiers in his cause, and while he did care about them, he still put them in harm's way every single day. So, yeah, that kind of annoyed me a little bit. But if you can get past that, the idea of going between these three timelines is really interesting. And one thing that I actually think Keith did well in this book is something that I've seen some reviews criticize him for, and that is the accuracy of the language used in each timeline. So, during Samuel Campbell's time, the Campbells are calling everything Oriental, Oriental, Oriental. And because, we're dealing with Chinatown and Japantown in this book, because our villain of the week, our monster of the week, is twofold. There's a regular demon who's pulling strings, but there's also something called the Heart of the Dragon, which is this feudal samurai burning fire demon spirit thing. It's not made explicitly clear if it's a ghost or a demon. It was kind of called both a few times. I personally believe it to be a demon that was created for a very specific purpose, making it a special demon, kind of akin to like Samhain or the Deva or the Echeri, something quite a bit unique amongst demonkind, which I really enjoyed. And in addition to that, it actually had its own weaknesses and its own strengths, and its strengths were such that Castiel feared, and the angels as a whole feared, that it could be used as a weapon against the angels. It was that strong. So, loved seeing that. It was really unique. And I mentioned before that the author was criticized for his language, but it makes sense. In the 70s, a lot of things that we would now refer to as Asian or Eastern were just called Oriental, which, while it may be offensive to refer to a person as Oriental today, he was trying to capture the language and the dialogue of the time period. And, I did talk to my dad, who was born in 1950, and is a veteran of the Vietnam War. I asked him, hey, is this the language used in this book? Is this accurate to how people actually would have spoken in the 70s? And his answer was an immediate yes. It's very true to form. It's very true to the way people talked, and I appreciated that. So don't take offense to it. It's just trying to capture and accurately reflect a period. Then we move into John Winchester's time, and we get some cool moments of John hunting the threat. But like Samuel, he wasn't able to kill the threat, only stalled it for a while, and then when it finally returned, Sam and Dean had to deal with the threat. So. And by the way, both John and Sam and Dean got help from beloved character Bobby, which I really enjoyed. So, yeah, it's definitely the most complex of the book so far. And if it wasn't for the stumbling and handling John's character and that weird thing about John and Mary knowing each other in high school, I would rank this book quite highly, and I might even put it higher than Nevermore. It could have easily been a 4 out of 5, maybe even a 4.5 out of 5. But for me, those things do hold it back a fair bit, keeping it at that 3.5 level. That said, it's definitely the most ambitious of the supernatural novels so far, and one that I thoroughly enjoyed reading. And yeah, this is one I probably will reread when I rewatch the series. Now, I probably won't reread Witch's Canyon and Bone Key when I rewatch the show, but I'll definitely reread Nevermore, and I'll probably reread Heart of the Dragon, just because they were such a fun time and offered something quite unique while still feeling very much in line with the series. So, yeah, that's all I can say without getting into super heavy spoiler territory, and I don't want to do that because, well, I want you to experience the book for yourself. And so, yeah, if you like Supernatural, definitely check out this book. Read the other 3 first still, but once you get to this one, I think you're going to have a very good time with it, especially if you know what I told you about John acting a little bit out of character. It won't surprise you quite as much, and as a result, probably won't piss you off quite as much. So that has been my review. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and until next time, I will see you later. Peace, and take care.